In the remote northern reaches of Norway, among cold fjords and frozen cliffs, there stood a small settlement, Avik. On the surface, it was just another fishing village, but during World War II, it became the focus of one of the most calculated German operations in Scandinavia. By early 1940, Norway had become a strategic target in the battle for control over the North Sea. Germany launched Operation Weserübung, a rapid invasion of Norway aimed at seizing key ports and infrastructure. Though small, Ivik held a crucial position. Nestled by a natural harbor and near Allied supply routes, it was a perfect foothold for controlling movement in the region. Importantly, by the time the operation began, there were no civilians left in Ivik. Most had joined the armed forces, and the rest had been evacuated. What remained was a military outpost, silent, isolated, but ready. The German plan was simple but precise. A naval force would land from the southwest, creating the illusion of a full-scale frontal assault. A mountain infantry unit would approach from the north, navigating steep and icy cliffs to block any retreat through the mountains. Meanwhile, an airborne detachment would parachute in from the east, taking control of the only road leading into the region. By surrounding Ivik from three directions, they aimed to isolate it completely, to squeeze it without resorting to full destruction. On the first day, German ships appeared on the horizon, but didn't fire. The naval detachment stayed just far enough to be seen, a tactic meant to unsettle, not provoke. By the second day, mountain troops had reached the ridges overlooking the outpost. From there, they could observe every movement below. To the east, paratroopers secured the only road, cutting off supply lines and any hope of reinforcement. Evik's defenders understood what was happening. The ring was forming, slowly, silently. On the fifth day, the Germans advanced. From the southwest, the naval force pushed into the outskirts under cover of precise artillery fire, striking only military positions. Mountain infantry descended from above, sealing off footpaths and natural escape routes. From the east, the paratroopers clashed with Ivik's defenders in a series of brief but intense skirmishes. By nightfall, the outpost was fully surrounded. No communication, no supplies, no way out. At dawn, the commander of the remaining defenders emerged under a white flag. There were no civilians to protect, only soldiers holding the line. Though vastly outnumbered and outgunned, they had fulfilled their task: delay the German advance as long as possible, protecting critical supply chains elsewhere. The Germans took control without major bloodshed. The operation was deemed a success, swift, strategic, and surgical. Ivik, now in German hands, became part of a supply corridor used to support operations further north. The fall of Ivik may seem minor on a map, but its capture was a textbook example of how strategy, coordination, and patience can overcome even the most determined resistance. No bombs were needed, no large battles were fought, just silence, pressure, and a plan that closed in from three sides.